He's like, I've been to fucking prison too. Hey, don't worry about it. They're gonna fucking clap your cheeks for a little bit, you know, just beat your ass. Fuck it, you know, you just gotta take the blows. I forgot about the house part. No, dude, I have not forgotten about the house part. I've literally been only talking about. I've only been thinking about the fact that this fucking idiot, this absolute idiot, fucking signed his house over to his wife to like get out of a get out of like some fucking investigation.
Give me my house back. That's it.
That's it what?
I'll have the papers sent over to you somehow. You'll sign them over to me, and then I will help your mother. Okay?
I'm not signing anything.
I know you wouldn't sign anything. I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I can't help you. Okay?
That's what you're thinking about. I'm sitting here rotting and you're thinking about
Now you start having me killed. I just offered to help you, and again, you have the balls to say no to me. You just basically said F you to me, which is hilarious considering your situation and considering what the F just happened today.
That's hilarious, dude. It is hilarious. He's right.
the gun getting fingerprinted now.
Dahlia called her mother soon after, who was already informed of the situation by Michael and appeared to be a little bit more understanding over the whole situation.
Hello? Mom, I'm in jail.
I know, Dahlia. I know. I find out.
I need you to call Mike in New York.
Okay, who do you want me to call? What is it?
I need you to call Mike in New York, please.
I called already and I called that. Everybody knows. What is it you want me to do? Where are you exactly?
I'm in the county jail. I need you to call. What did Mike say? Is he coming?
Everybody's coming, Dahlia. We're going to go ahead and get your lawyers, okay? Don't worry. Where are you? Are you in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here, Mom. Mike did this to me.
Wait, Mike did this to me? Dude, he's so... Yo, she's a fucking straight succubus demon, dude. What the fuck?
Okay.
What is Gun Club, by the way? Why are they calling the police department Gun Club? She thinks it's a different Mike than the other Mike, but...
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Sad that mental illness like this is responding with punitive action instead of rehabilitation. Okay, shut up, simp. This is the kind of like sociopathic behavior that is like incredibly difficult to fucking treat. Okay, you're out of your fucking. This person is literally a demon. This person is literally a demon, and the only way to treat this person is just like she might kill again. Okay. They might have family that are cops, military guys, and cops call work a gun club. Wait, really?
You did. I know you didn't. I know you didn't. Where are you? You in Gun Club?
Yes, I'm here in Gun Club, and I heard Mike is at the house. I want him out of my house.
Okay, well, right now we're going to need to have a lawyer first,
That's my
okay?
house. Okay.
Bro, what the fuck, dude? Yo, are you serious? Are you fucking serious, dude? Oh, I'm dying. I'm dying, dude. This is nuts. Bro, she said fucking get the dude I try to murder, whose house it is, out of the house that he bought and fucking stupidly, foolishly signed over to my name. Yeah, she does not chatter. Callan162 is correct. She needs a fucking exorcism, not a therapist, okay? She needs Allah's light inside of her immediately, dude.
It was in my name.
All right, okay, don't worry about that right now.
Dahlia spent 20 months in jail before standing trial in April 2011. Her defense was bizarre. They claimed Michael DiPolito was a fan of reality TV, and the murder-for-hire plot was a hoax, just so he could get on television.
I'm just having fun with you. Come on, I'm with you.
You having fun with me? Let me ask you something. Is this fun, Mr. DiPolito?
This sucks.
Okay. Was it fun when you got arrested?
No.
Was it fun when you went through court?
Horrible.
Okay. So, is it...
Narcissistic personality disorder mostly goes unidentified and untreated and leaves this to you, you ignorant himbo. Wait, what? So we're treating NPD as though it's like fucking... Are you serious, dude? We're treating narcissistic personality disorder as like a disability of the where you can't control yourself either? Like, what the fuck? Bro, what the fuck? Wait, what? Bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry, dude. You're literally incorrect and wrong and what the fuck? Who knew these videos would turn your chat into nutters? I did. I knew that it was gonna happen.
Is there anything funny about this proceeding at all, Mr. DiPolito?
The questions you're asking me, some of them, yeah.
You don't like them, do you?
It's ridiculous. We're not here because of me. You might as well put me up next. I mean, what are we doing here?
The verdict came a month later on May 13th. The jury needed just 3 hours of deliberation.
Verdict, we the jury find as follows. As to count 1, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. If you find the defendant guilty, do you find that there is a firearm included in the solicitation? Yes.
And you and I have spoken previously about you wanting to share some comments with the court as the judge considers the appropriate sentence in this case?
Yes, I do. I have no words to explain why this unfortunate event happened. And I am sorry that it did. I don't support what it happened. But I know that you have the power in deciding what happens to the next phase of Dalia's life, in showing mercy. In life,
She cannot physically control herself and being a narcissist and a sociopath. She's just wired that way. It should be treated as some sort of disorder. Okay, jail her for life then. Thank you. Okay, I guess, sorry. Like, fucking lock her up and throw away the key then. Sorry, she literally can't control her urges, which is literally the problem with sociopathy and psychopathic behavior. Like, that's literally the method, even in like the UK, the method for people who are diagnosed with psychopathy are actually just thrown in an asylum forever.
Make mistakes.
Yeah, I know. Antisocial
Sometimes
personality disorder. Yes,
we
I'm
will
aware.
deserve a second chance. Dalia's not dangerous. Your Honor, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please, to have some mercy to her. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Where do I begin? Let me just start off by saying, when I married my wife, I was very much in love with her. And I thought we were doing things that normal married people do. And I was a very good husband. And I provided everything we needed. And, that being said, lo and behold, that wasn't the case. I don't know who these people are talking about, but it's not that girl. And I feel bad. I don't even want to be here. Since this started, I've always put my hand out. Give me my house. Let's be done with it. I'll beg the judge to even
we've moved beyond like BPD or like bipolar people or schizophrenic people, like disease or illnesses that are like very hard to fucking manage, that people still somehow manage without murdering motherfuckers on, to like literally saying, oh, she's a narcissist, that's why she fucking, like, we've literally moved beyond like tier fucking 5 diseases and illnesses to literally being like, well, I have ADHD, sorry, that's why I hired a fucking hitman. I have a disease, you need to treat me. That is psychotic, okay? Like, literally one of the dumbest things I've ever heard from this chat. And I hear a lot of dumb shit, okay? It's remarkably ableist, by the way, which most people are really unaware of how fucking ableist they're being when they make it seem as though people with like actual like very difficult to manage mental disorders are incapable of controlling their fucking urges, and they're literally on a whim they will go out and fucking murder. And then you compare, like, you move beyond, like, mental disorders to, like, a personality trait. God damn, dude. So you're not for prison abolitionism, only for sympathetic people, and once someone is a selfish liar, they deserve to rot for life? No, idiot. But I admit, and most other people admit, that, like, currently, we do not know how to medically treat people with antisocial personality disorders like sociopathy and psychopathy. That's it. Okay?
Do whatever. I don't personally gain anything from this. You know, the difference between me and I guess what's going on here, you know, I went to prison. You know how I got there? I said I did it. Yeah, I did it. Let's get this over with and handle it. You know, that hasn't happened here. I mean, this girl doesn't feel sorry for anything. She still doesn't think she did anything. And believe me, I don't want to get up here and be nasty, but the reality is I sit and listen to this. Even today, we're talking about a retrial? Retrial for what? I mean, what is it we're doing? Who didn't understand what happened here?
That's crazy.
They still don't want to admit anything happened. Nothing bad happened. It's all good. Let's just all go home and it's fine. I'm not okay. You know, my father died. I was supposed to have been able to travel to see him. I didn't get to see my dad. You know, my dad's dead. And, you know, that was part of my plan. Get off probation, go see my family, spend time with my father. If she would have owned it like a normal person and would have owned up to something, I would respect that. But instead, when I get to court, I hear that I want a reality television show. As soon as we walk out here, you know they're filing for an appeal. You know why? Because they think everybody in this room's stupid. That's why. Because we're all stupid, and they're smarter than us. And nobody did anything. And God, she's a great girl. And whatever. You know, when I met her, I thought all those things. I don't want to offend anybody, and believe me, I feel sorry for everybody that's in here crying. But you know what? I got to feel sorry for myself. Nobody's helping me. My mother had a nervous breakdown. I'm like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. You know, I just don't know how I'm feeling some days. And it's just not fair. Like I said, and I mean this from my heart, I wish we weren't here.
Please don't ever put borderline and murder in the same sentence. I literally put borderline and murder in the same sentence to say there are plenty of people with BPD that don't fucking do murder. As a matter of fact, the overwhelming majority, if not nearly every single one of people that struggle with BPD don't do murders. That's why I put those two words together. What the fuck are you saying? Like,
I wish she would have did anything but what she did.
The jury's found you guilty, Ms. DiPolito, of solicitation to commit first-degree murder. So my task is to figure out what an appropriate sentence would be, somewhere between 48 months and 30 years in the Department of Corrections. How do I rehabilitate you from what you have done? And I think that's a function of you know, spinning your moral compass. I think your moral compass is askew. I think that it's something that it's not like getting a drug addict off drugs or an alcoholic off alcohol, but rehabilitation, I hope that occurs as part of this sentence. A big variable, and the one that's most conspicuous, is punishment. You impose a sentence to punish bad behavior, criminal behavior, and that's going to be a large component of this sentence. And also a valid factor in imposing a sentence is retribution. And retribution is giving society the vent, the outlet, the sense.
Bro, this person will not rehabilitate, by the way. She is demonstrating fucking zero of the telltale signs of someone who even recognized that they've done something wrong. Okay? Like, she's just like, fuck no, dude. I am the real victim here. I'm the real fucking victim, dog. What the fuck? Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ.
That person got what he or she had coming. So I consider those factors.
She's literally doing a Jean Paul fucking, or whatever. She's doing an XQCRP right now. Like, come on. Sentence me, dude. Judge, sentence me, dude. Why are you stalling, dude? Stop stalling.
And try to figure out what weighs most in tailoring a sentence for you. And it has to do with the facts of the case, and it has to do with who you are and what you were thinking. And here's the way I see it. I think that a lot of it is what were your motivations? What were you doing? What were you thinking when that was going on? And I just come to the most obvious conclusion that you were motivated by greed, by avarice. There's no evidence that you were being beaten and you were defending yourself, that you were a battered wife, that you were an alcoholic, that you were the victim of child abuse, that you were somehow acting in defense of yourself, even under a misguided notion. There's none of that here. All of your conduct was just for self-indulgence and just trying to take every bit of money that you could get a hold of so that you could go on and live this fast life. In as early as March, you began this relentless campaign to get rid of your husband. First, you're thinking, well, I'll just get him sent off to prison and that would be good enough. You used guile and sophistry to dupe others into your web of deception. You were the puppet master that was pulling all the strings. You weren't acting at the direction of somebody else. You weren't under the influence of somebody else. You were the one calling the shots. And you were engaged in a course of conduct not over some momentary lapse of good judgment. This wasn't like, I ran a red light, I shouldn't have done that. Or, oh, what was I thinking? I had the gun in my hand and I shot it because I was angry. It was weeks and months that you continued with these different schemes to try to rid yourself of your husband.
She's literally like a parasitic being that literally just latched onto this fucking dumb Italian himbo and sucked him of all of his life juices. And then in the end, when she was done sucking, she was like, okay, time to fucking murder him and then take everything. Finally. That's wild. You can't, how do you separate these two?
That was just something out of a novel. And it was horrible to watch it unfold as the trial testimony came out. It was pure evil. After those attempts to have your husband taken out of the picture by way of sending him back to prison for a long period of time, and when you learned that it wasn't good enough to have the house in your name, that if you wanted to sell the house, you were still going to need his signature, I think that's when it started to turn to even more sinister behavior.
Oh, shit!
Mr. Salnick indicates that, being remorseful or saying I'm sorry really doesn't mean anything. And I disagree. I think, even today, Mr. DiPolito, still your husband, I think that I'm sorry, it's my fault, I did it, would have gone a long way. Not only for his healing, but it would have perhaps suited your own purpose. But I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard an ounce of remorse. The opposite.
If she has a mental disability and you want to lock her up, then you want to lock everyone up with a mental disability who commits a crime? Yes. Yes, I think that some sort of sentencing should occur if you have done a violent crime. Yeah. I don't understand. Do you think motherfuckers literally think yo, sorry, judge, I have ADHD. And then the judge's like, oh, fuck, I can't believe this dude. I can't believe he used the cheat code, bro. He said he's a narcissist. Fuck. Guess you can't go to jail now, dude. God damn, dude. They didn't say violent. I know, they were trying to trap me in a fucking idiotic take, which is precisely why I'm saying, my position is that, yes, if you were, convicted of a fucking violent crime and caught dead to rights, you can't use a mental illness as a fucking get out of jail free card. What is this?
That when confronted with the obvious facts, the most powerful testimony as to who you are is when you were in the police station and your husband walked by and looked in and you were begging him, tell him this is all wrong, tell him this is all wrong. And then later on the telephone, you were saying, he was confronting you with the evidence. I saw the tapes. I saw the videotape of you trying to have me killed. And you just cold-bloodedly said to him, I saw what you saw, and I'm telling you that's not true. and it
Bro, I wish the judge would be like, I want to give you an opportunity because me, just like millions of people all around the world who saw this tape, need to understand, how did you think you were going to get out of this? Because I want to know so bad, dude. I want to know so fucking bad, like, what was she going to say to get out of that?
It was astonishing, the cold-blooded denial that you're willing to go to try to avoid the obvious. You have a certain facet of who you are with your mom, your sister, your brother, and they see the good in you, as siblings and parents should. But who you are when no one's looking, other than a camera in a police car, is quite different. And I think that peers deeply into your soul and speaks volumes of the way you were presenting this, and it was quite chilling to witness that. Based upon those factors, then, Ms. DiPolito, I'll accept the verdict of the jury. I'll find you guilty. I'll adjudicate you guilty. And I'm sentencing you to 20 years in the Department of Corrections.
Holy
Dahlia's
shit.
first encounter with retribution was a big one, yet it didn't last long. The sentence was thrown out on a technicality 1 month later, and she was able to remain under house arrest for 6 years.
Demon! Actual demon! She beat the case, dude!
Awaiting her next trial. Her second trial began in 2016.
Dahlia DiPolito takes the stand with an unusual defense.
Dahlia says it was all part of a plan she hatched with her then husband, Michael DiPolito, and former lover, Mohammed Shahadi, to get famous. Her now ex-husband, Mike DiPolito, says he couldn't wait to see what she'd say in court.
Let me know when she's going. I'll be sitting in the back with popcorn. I'd love to see this.
In an exclusive pretrial interview with 2020 this past December, DiPolito said she's just...
Bro, this is wild. Nightline doing this coverage is like... What the fuck? Bro, this is crazy, dude. Oh my God, I hate this. I hate capitalism. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Dude, we are the worst. This is the worst system. Like, immediately, demon-ass fucking TV producers are like, oh, this is perfect content. Fuck, I'm doing it. I'm perpetuating it.
Misunderstood.
But at least I'm, like, shitting on her. Whereas, like, they are just seeing her as though it's like she's a victim in the situation.
Who is Dahlia DiPolito?
Understanding, sweet, and compassionate.
Manipulative, conniving. I got more than 3. Malicious.
Baited, enticed, and entrapped.
Her attorney, Brian Claypool, says Dahlia is the innocent victim of a fame-hungry police department.
What the police department did is they found out she's an attractive woman. In their minds, they're like ching, ching, ching. This is a perfect skit.
No.
There's no question about it that the Boynton Beach Police Department was dead set on manufacturing a crime here.
How damaging are these tapes to your client?
They are damaging because people have formed opinions.
Our job in the second trial is to provide...
What is this nip-tuck looking fucking team of lawyers? No. No. This is insane, dude. What is wrong with Florida, dude? I told you it was crazy. I fucking told you what they were doing in that fucking interrogation room was crazy, dude. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Please tell me she still went to jail. Please.
Boynton Beach Police Department was dead set on manufacturing a crime here.
How damaging
What do you mean manufacturing a crime, dude? There is literally no entrapment. Like, usually there's so much coercion in these sorts of sting operations where it's like very fucked up. There is usually so much coercion in these sorts of instances, like honeypotting, that sort of shit. Like, there is a lot of, it is like borderline entrapment. This is like one instance where it's an open and shut fucking case where she literally is like, I want to murder the fuck out of this dude because I can't sell the house without his signature. He already stupidly fucking gave me the title, but I can't sell it.
are these tapes to your client?
They are damaging because people have formed opinions.
Our job in the second trial is to provide the proper context for the jury to see that this is not really what it looks like.
Claypool claims she only kept up the act because Mohammed threatened her with a gun.
He threatened to hurt me and to hurt my family.
Did you believe he would?
Absolutely, yes.
So she was threatened to act out a hoax on a videotape? I mean, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds to a lot of people watching this?
Yeah, that's not ridiculous. You've got a 6'2", 230-pound man with a gun.
Saying you will do this
Absolutely.
YouTube hoax or else?
Right.
5,000% sure, not 100% sure, not 1,000% sure, but 5,000% sure. How do you explain that?
I look at that video and I see somebody who's struggling with whether she's really sure.
She's struggling? What?
Why? Well,
how is she struggling if she's 5,000% sure?
Well, you might find that humorous, but when I hear people say they're sure, I'm 110% sure.
Why didn't she just tell police her version of what happened?
I've asked her that question too. Oh, yeah, everybody. Hey, Sergeant, this was just a YouTube thing we were putting together. She was in a state of shock.
I couldn't react. I just completely froze. I wanted to get out of there and I felt just paralyzed. The tape.
Bro, this is like role play court, dude. This is like when I get caught when, you know, in a video game and I just say like whatever comes to my mind first. Like fans of early Donnie remember when I went to court and I was like a part of a kidnapping operation. And I literally was just like, Your Honor, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, I'm just literally like caught dead to rights. I'm a victim of circumstance. And it is fucking wild that it, like, the fact that they would even entertain this. Like, the fact that this is like, I just, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. This is making me like reactionary.
It was a show, it was a tape. That was the purpose of it.
You were acting in those tapes?
Yes.
But you're telling the truth now?
Yes.
Why should we believe you?
Because it's what happened. It's the truth.
State of Florida versus Dahlia A. DiPolito, defendant. Verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count one, we find the defendant guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder as charged in the information. So say we all, the 16th day of June, 2017.
You're a potential threat to all women? That's right, chat. All you simps are a threat? No white knights here crying on command? Oh my God, who hurt you, you fucking pathetic incel? Holy shit. Oh my God, this guy's so broken. He said all men are potential rapists. God damn, dude. Okay. Come on. The final reveal, the big reveal.
In West Palm Beach.
Dahlia DiPolito was sentenced to 16 years in prison on July 21st, 2017. She was not given the possibility of parole, and her release date is set for August 24th, 2032. Her appeal was rejected by the Florida Supreme Court in September of 2019, and her sentence is now definitive. She is currently being held at the Lowell Correctional Institution in Gainesville, Florida, where she is expected to remain until the day of release. She will be 50 years old.
If your crazy prostitute wife that you gave your house to tries to get you thrown in jail on drug charges and then tries to pay someone to murder you, it's gotta be somewhat satisfying to have that person call and ask you for help. It's like, I really need your help. And you're like, yeah, I bet you do. But you tried to kill me.
I spit it from my block. It's an...
What the fuck? Hate on her all you want. I've seen 7 margaritas. I want to catch a pussy cheek. What the fuck? She had a kid while she was on house arrest? How the fuck? Who fucked her? He was a sex worker and he was married before she married him. Yeah. Dude, that was okay. You probably thought a kid would get out of her sentence law. I mean, should I do Casey Anthony, dude? Like, I don't know if I'm ready for Casey Anthony, dude. I don't know if I can do that. Okay, one more, but like, wait, why does it look like I watched it already? I didn't watch
Most of you
Casey
will
Anthony. This one is so fucked. This is the most fucked. It's very interesting where you're going to be angry when you finish. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so fucking mad, dude. But I really want to watch it. I really, really, really want to watch it. Okay. Pre-watched Omega. Fuck, my light just broke. Oh my God. This one next, the racist white guy that killed the black kid. Dude, these videos are fucking straight crack cocaine, dude. I can't stop watching them. I mean, if we watch Casey Anthony, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm just letting you know, I'm going to fucking lose my mind in this one. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, fuck it. We're doing it. We're fucking doing it, dude. We're doing it. But before we do it, it's top of the hour. And it's time for a 60-second ad break, okay? We're doing the goddamn thing. It's time for a 60-second ad break. You already know what the deal is, okay? I'm doing it. I'm gonna fucking lose it. I'm gonna lose my shit. Diving off the goddamn deep end. If you wanna ad-free broadcasting experience, dude, you already know. Oh God. Is this why white women love true crime? I don't know what it is, but I hit you earlier because you didn't fucking know it was coming. Sorting algorithms. Thank you for the 25 gifted sub. I don't know what the fuck that means, but all right, let's do it. Fuck it, we're doing it live, boys. Anyway, if you want to no longer see the ads, you can do it. You can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. Lorena Bobich cut her dude's dick off? What? Okay, here's the 1-minute ad break now.
Already be aware of who 2-year-old Kaylee Anthony was. The majority will know that she sadly passed away at some point between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. on June 16, 2008. Her death is undoubtedly the most heartbreaking part of this story, and we only need a single word to epitomize her short life. Tragic. But the primary subject of this video is not about the life nor the death of Kaylee Marie Anthony. It is in fact about the psychological constitution of her mother, 22-year-old Casey Marie Anthony. So rather than tragic, you'll find the words disturbing and perplexing to be far better suited to the theme of this video. One of the many reasons this case is exceptional is how the present day's topic of discussion has little to do with the actual occurrences of the crime, but in fact the subsequent developments that followed. People are no longer talking about how or even why Kaylee Anthony passed away. They are instead talking about the manner in which a mother responded to her daughter.
Okay, this is like an actual demon, like on Earth, okay? This is the biggest fucking demon on Earth. I have to pee really bad. Is there TOS in this?
Death. Given all the acquired information we now have, even if we afford this person the most morally acceptable possibility of what occurred, her manner of conduct was still unimaginably cold-blooded. This is driven home by the fact she was evaluated by 2 clinical psychologists during her time in custody, and not a single abnormality was discovered with relation to her psychological state. In other words, there were no signs of mental illness whatsoever. And this makes the character study of Casey Anthony just as fascinating as it is terrifying. A human being's state of mind is something most accurately assessed with the full capacity of hindsight. So before we evaluate our first segment of raw footage, here's a quick rundown of each of the essential moments that will give you a broader understanding of what we're actually dealing with. On the 15th of July, 2008, Orlando police received a call from Cindy Anthony, the grandmother of the victim.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago, the deputy sheriff. I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her. Your daughter admitted that the baby is where? But the babysitter took her a month ago. My daughter's been looking for her. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. And she just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car. Okay, what is the 3-year-old's name? Kaylee. C-A-Y-L-E-E. Anthony. Kaylee Anthony? Yes. How long has she been missing for? I have not seen her since the 7th of June. Is your daughter there? Yes. Can I speak with her? Okay, Spanish Sheriff's Department, they want to talk to you. Answer the question. Hello? Hello? Yes. Can you tell me what's going on a little bit? I'm sorry? Can you tell me a little bit what's going on? My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days. And you know who has her? I know who has her. I've tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today, now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter for about a minute. Who has her? Do you have a name? Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
To give some context to this bizarre phone call, Casey Anthony had left the family home with her daughter a month earlier, stating that she had a work assignment in Tampa and would be traveling the entire time. Kaylee's grandparents would ask repeatedly over the following month to see, or at least speak to their granddaughter, but Casey claimed each and every time that she was too busy with work and that Kaylee was with a nanny who went by the name Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, or Zanny for short. On July 15th, exactly 6 weeks after Kaylee was last seen by her grandparents.
Yeah, there's new information of Casey Anthony from 8 days ago, where a woman poured drinks on Casey Anthony. Oh, it's just spoilers. Never mind.
George Anthony received a phone call that the family car was at the impound lot. This immediately alerted suspicion, as it was the same car Casey had supposedly been traveling with for work. Suspicion turned into panic once they picked up the vehicle, and George discovered a strong odor emanating from the trunk, one that he recognized from his years as a police officer, and found comparable to that of human decomposition. Through contacting one of Casey's friends, her parents managed to track her down at her boyfriend's house in Orlando, where they were found smoking marijuana and watching TV. When inquired over the whereabouts of her daughter, Casey stated that she had been kidnapped 31 days before by the supposed babysitter. It was at that moment Cindy Anthony called 911.
911, what's your emergency? Who has her? Do you have a name? Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. Who is that? Babysitter? She's been my nanny for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago? I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid.
Thank you, sorting algorithms for the 25 give this subs.
The officers are there? Yes.
Now let's indulge in the world of fantasy for just a moment and pretend all of what Casey had just stated was true. She had indeed been working, and her daughter was in fact kidnapped by the babysitter a month earlier. The immediate premise most would gather would be that Casey had no regard for her daughter whatsoever. In the 911 call, there was no urgency nor concern in her voice, and rather than her volunteering information, which most parents would do in a frantic manner, it had to be acquired by the dispatcher through repeated inquisition. All you have to do is compare Casey's dialogue to that of her mother's in the same phone call. One was indifferent, while the other was distraught. Police would have picked up on this immediately. Even without the bizarre phone call, the circumstances alone would make Casey the prime suspect in her daughter's disappearance. She was immediately interviewed as a witness, which, unbeknownst to her, was the detective's first step in locking her into as many lies as possible.
The day right now is July 16, 2008. The time right now is 04:11 hours. I'm Detective Mellish with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I am with Casey Anthony, is that correct?
Yes.
Casey, you understand this is being recorded?
Yes.
You have any objection to that?
No.
All right. Casey, I got called here in reference to a missing child. You took Casey to a babysitter's house?
Yes.
And who was this babysitter?
Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Okay. How long had you known Zenaida?
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years Christmas this year.
And where did you meet her? Who did you meet her through?
A mutual friend. His name is Jeffrey Michael Hopkins. I met him at Nickelodeon at Universal, and I met her through him. She was his son's nanny at the time.
Does Jeffrey still work at Universal?
No, he does not.
How long has it been since he left?
About 9-10 months, give or take. He moved up to North Carolina for a short time and moved down to Jacksonville within the last 3 months.
How would you characterize your relationship with Miss Anthony?
More or less acquaintances.
Weren't very good friends?
Not very good friends.
Did you ever work at Universal Studios?
I did.
When did you work at Universal Studios?
Approximately 2002.
How long did you work there for?
1 year.
Did you ever work there at the same time that Casey Anthony worked there?
I don't think so.
You don't recall ever seeing her there?
Never.
Did you ever introduce Casey Anthony to a woman by the name of Zenaida Gonzalez?
I did not.
Did you ever use Zenaida Gonzalez as a nanny?
No, sir.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
Have you lived in the Orlando area consistently since 2002?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever lived in Jacksonville?
No, sir.
Have you ever lived in North Carolina?
No, sir.
Did you see Casey Anthony in the month of June of 2008?
No, sir.
When was the last time you spoke with him?
About a week and a half ago.
Do you know a telephone number for him?
I can find a number for him. I don't know a number offhand. No, I do not.
So you met Zenaida through Jeffrey Hopkins?
I did.
And his son Zach Hopkins, I guess. Zenaida used to watch over Zach?
Yes.
And when did she start watching over your child?
It's been within the last year and a half, 2 years that she started watching Kaylee.
How would you normally drop off, or how would you normally do the exchange with your child and Zenaida? Would you drop the child off? Would she meet you somewhere?
I would usually drop her off. For a few months, we would go over to Jeff's house. He lived over in Avalon Park.
And you would go to Jeff's house why?
To drop off Kaylee. That's where Zenaida would go to watch both of the kids.
Okay.
It was in a nice centralized area. He had a decent sized house. It was good room for the two of them.
Go back to your statement. You dropped off Kaylee June 9th, and walk me through. You dropped her off to go to work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get off of work and go from there.
I got off of work, left Universal, driving back to pick up Kaylee like a normal day. And I show up to the apartment, knock on the door, nobody answers. So I call Zenaida's cell phone and it's out of service. I didn't really want to come home. I wasn't sure what I'd say about not knowing where Kaylee was. Still hoping that I would get a call or, you know, find out that Kaylee was coming back so then I could go get her. And I ended up going to my boyfriend
Holy
Anthony's
fuck, it was
house.
today.
He lives in Sutton Place.
Did you talk to Anthony about what happened with Kaylee?
No, I did not.
Have you talked to anyone about Kaylee, about your incident with Kaylee? Or the fact
Outside
that
of
she's missing?
A couple people, a couple mutual friends.
Who did you talk to about it?
I talked to Jeffrey Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Juliette Lewis. She's one of my coworkers at Universal.
She works. You still work at Universal?
Yes.
What do you do at Universal?
I'm an event coordinator.
Okay. What is Juliet? What position is she? Where she works?
She's also an event coordinator. We work in the same department.
Juliette Lewis doesn't exist. Casey had briefly worked at Universal, but hadn't been employed there for over 2 years prior to this interview. And she wasn't an event coordinator. She stood behind a kiosk and sold photos of people after they had been on the Incredible Hulk
Bro, she literally lied about everything, dude.
ride.
You have a number for Juliet?
Ooh, offhand, I can't think of one.
Is she in your SIM card?
No, she's not. Some of the more recent numbers, her number just changed because she just moved back up north. She, within the last 2 months, has finished moving up to New York. She's subleasing her apartment.
So Juliet doesn't work at Universal anymore?
No, she does not.
What's the reason, I asked you this before and I'll ask you just for the record, what's the reason you didn't call?
Like pathological lies, like nonstop, endless sequence of lies, just in fucking rapid fire. You know, some people, like I went to college, we had a dude like this in our friend group who would just literally, he could not help himself. Like at first we were like, wow, what a fucking cool guy. He's done so much cool shit. And then we started realizing like, oh my God, this motherfucker, like these are verifiable things, like easily verifiable things that are just like clearly false, right? And well, Misgift does this, yeah, but Misgift does it as a joke and as a meme. Like, no, I'm talking about like the one guy in the group who just like literally can't help himself and like lies, like lies to make himself seem cool because like, you know, for as long as he can, so that, you know, he can get an edge, I guess, in the relationship with their friends. They one up Omar. No, literally, and he always wait. Is that like a known thing? Is that like a known meta? Because we used to play a game. We used to play a game amongst ourselves in our friend group where we literally he was a serial one-upper and a liar. So we would text each other in the group of friends, which is really fucked up now that I think about it, but also like fuck him. He was just a liar, so he couldn't stop himself. So in order to fucking you know, entertain ourselves with this, once we figured out like he's lying about everything, we would literally just start making up stories. Like we would make up a story like, yeah, man, one time like I had a fucking dirt biking accident, like it was crazy. And then he would be like, oh yeah? Well, I had a dirt biking accident that was even crazier where like I had to be helicoptered out. Like he would literally fucking like he couldn't help himself. So we would text each other to just like literally rapid fire, just like make stories up just to see if he'll like try to one up one another. And there are people like this. They just can't help themselves. They're usually very insecure, but also like Casey Anthony is kind of like that, where she's just a pathological liar who literally cannot stop herself.
Call the police before.
I think part of me was naive enough to think that I could handle this myself, which obviously I couldn't. And I was scared that something would happen to her if I did notify the authorities or got the media involved. Just fear of the unknown, fear of the potential of Kaylee getting hurt, of not seeing my daughter again.
I asked you this at the onset and asked you before we went on tape, and I'll ask you again just to make sure we're clear. Is there anything about this story that you're telling me that's untrue?
Everything.
Or is there anything that you want to change?
Literally
or divert
everything.
From what you've already told me?
No, sir.
Did you cause any injury to your child, Kaylee?
No, sir.
Did you hurt Kaylee or leave her somewhere and you're worried that if we find that out that people are going to look at you a wrong way?
No, sir.
And you're telling me that Zenaida took your child without your permission and hasn't returned her?
The last person that I've seen with my daughter, yes.
Is she Puerto Rican? Is she Dominican? Is she white?
She's mixed. She's black and Puerto Rican.
Is there any underlying cause to why Zenaida would have taken your child?
Nothing that...
Did she ever make any statements to you about...
Only how much she loves Kaylee and how great of a kid she is.
And when you talk to Jeffrey afterwards, I'm assuming that Jeffrey's child is still with him?
His child is still with him.
You said Zenaida had family up in New England, up in New York or
Yes,
something?
she has family down south. Her mother and her sister. Her brother's in New York. She's originally from New York. Pretty much grew up there, moved down here, went to the University of Florida.
Zenaida, the nanny, doesn't exist. Casey never had a babysitter. Being the retrospective viewer, we have the benefit of knowing these are outright fabrications, and these meticulous details are a textbook sign of a pathological liar. She speaks eloquently and naturally, as if her dialogue is a reflex response to the questions she's being asked. When in reality, each of these minor details are calculated and deliberately placed for the purpose of deception, and the nonchalant, easygoing tone she employs is used to camouflage anxiety. Casey has not only become accustomed to manipulation, she has become extremely skilled in how to use it effectively. It takes us to the concept of nurture and how it most likely had a significant impact on her current circumstances. If we go through what we know about Casey's domestic history, there are numerous occasions where she had gotten away with things that most would not, simply due to the fact that she was able to continuously lie without conscience. A prime example could be when she was 18 years old and stopped attending class midway through her senior year. She literally skipped the entire second half of her final year to go hang out with her older boyfriend. Her parents became suspicious on several occasions, yet each and every time, Casey had some whimsical excuse to which she was given the benefit of the doubt. Then just days before graduation, her parents were informed by the school of her truancy and that she would not be graduating. When confronted, Casey's excuse was that her timetable was mixed up by the school, causing her to miss classes through no fault of her own. This is obviously a completely baffling excuse that no sane person would ever believe. Yet whether it be through denial or an overprotective nature, Casey's parents not only took her at her word, but even shielded her from the consequences of her actions. They lied to all their family friends that she graduated with honors, and even threw her an extravagant graduation party the day after. This is
affluenza, motherfucker. That's what this is. Bro, Florida parents, like, you know, just straight up, like, upper middle class rich white parents babying the shit out of their fucking child, dude. Literally. Like, also, I mean, we say like she's, you know, psychotic or whatever, but, and she still very well could be, even though there were, I think there was analysis to see if, whether she was, and no.
Just one of the many occurrences where Casey faced no ramifications for misconduct. It seemed to give her the belief that no matter what she did, as long as she could spin one lie after another, or at least drag a lie out for as long as possible, everything would work itself out. The truth is that everything did work itself out when she was dealing with her parents, and she evidently...
They should have done a parent swap. Her and fucking, what's her face? Should have swapped families. You know what I mean? Her and the first fucking murderer that we watched should have done a parent swap so that they could both be fucking normal and not weirdo murderers.
Thought the same rules applied with
Jennifer
regard
Pan.
to national law and a missing child's investigation. After the initial statement you just heard, Casey was asked if she could take police to all places of interest. She happily obliged, and then proceeded to lead them to a multitude of fake addresses which she had nothing to do with. She then took them to her supposed office at Universal Studios and literally led 3 senior investigators to the very end of the building, taking over 25 minutes to walk to, before she finally turned around, put her hands in her back pockets, laughed, and admitted that she didn't work there. Completely dumbfounded, the detectives placed her under arrest and took her to a conference room in the building for what was essentially an interrogation.
Since I left you this morning, I've gone to every address that you told me. I came over here, I've already talked to all the employees. I found out all these names that you're giving me are people that either never worked here or have been fired here for a long time ago. Okay, so where we are right now is in a position that doesn't look very good for you. Because obviously, I know, and you know, that everything you've told me is a lie, correct?
Not everything that I told you.
Pretty much everything that you've told me, including where Kaylee is right now.
That I don't know where she is.
Sure you do. And here's,
absolutely
listen,
do not know where she is.
Let me explain something. Looking at you, I know that everything that you've told me is a lie. I'm very confident, just by having talked to you this short period of time, that you know where she is.
I legitimately have not seen my daughter in 5 weeks. I didn't let anything happen to her, except I trusted her with somebody that had been taking care of her, that had been taking good care of her. Someone that she was comfortable with, that I was comfortable with.
What about Jeff? You said Jeff worked here until about 2 months ago?
No, he hasn't worked here for quite a while.
10 months? How long?
It's been at least 10 months.
Okay. He got fired in 2002. He hasn't been an employee here since 2002.
We put a lot more together than I think you realize we put together. My question to you is, we're in this...
Like, what did she think, dude? Like, why did she think she could get away with this? I mean, actually, I'm not going to spoil it, but like...
Because
shut up, Chad.
Coming here was to do what?
I'm trying to think of...
Don't mention it. Just don't.
You're not answering my question. Do you want us to help?
Yes,
you want to help us find your daughter?
I do want you to
Well,
help.
a good starting point would be to answer the questions, okay? If I say to you, we're here because, and then you just ignore that like I never asked it, and go off in some other direction. Is that answering the question?
No.
Okay. Let's go through this again. We're here because
I lied, because I brought you up here, and honestly I was reaching for
No, stop
another
right there.
avenue.
I want you to tell me how lying to us is going to help us find your daughter.
It's not going to.
Well, then if the main thing you want to do is find your daughter, and you don't think lying to us is going to help us find her, why would you do that?
Like, why are they babying her? That's another like that's another wild part of this sequence of events here. It was just like, I mean, she's caught dead to fucking rights. She has behaved in the weirdest way that you could. If your child was like fucking gone for 30 days, and then lied about like literally everything that is so incredibly easily verifiable. And the cops are still like, come on, like, what are you doing? Why are you lying to us like this?
And I know I'm running out of options. It's been a month.
What are you scared of?
I'm scared of not seeing my daughter ever again.
I'm a parent too. I would have been beside myself.
I have been.
I would have called the police immediately, and that's the part that I just don't understand. Well, we've got so many resources out there that we could help on day one.
You didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do. At that point, I'm thinking, okay, they haven't been gone that long. Maybe I can find them. Maybe I can track them down.
We're not stupid, okay? And what you're doing right now is you're treating us like we're stupid. Everything that's coming out of your mouth is a lie. Everything. Either you gave Kaylee to someone and you don't want anyone to find out because you think you're a bad mom, or something happened to Kaylee and Kaylee's buried somewhere or in a trash can somewhere, and you had something to do with it. Either way, right now, is not a very pretty picture to be painting. You're painting yourself as a very bad person. It needs to end.
The truthful thing is that I have not seen my daughter. The last time that I saw her was on the 9th of June.
Remember we had those two people that we were talking about, the person who had an accident and a person who's just a cold-blooded, callous monster? That's telling me that you are the second person, this cold-blooded, callous monster who doesn't care and doesn't want to help because she's afraid that something so heinous happened that everyone's going to look at her and say, she's a monster, she deserves to go away, she deserves to never see the light of day, this bad thing should happen to her. I don't want to believe that right now, but you're giving me no choice. Tell us what happened to Kaylee. Tell us what happened to Kaylee.
Thank you, sorting algorithms, for another 25. What the fuck is sorting algorithms, dude? These homies keep fucking 25, just peppering 25 gifties over and over again. Just lacing the boy up. I don't know what's happening here.
And that's the last time that I've seen her. I dropped her
Where
off.
did you drop her off?
I dropped her off at that apartment.
No, you didn't.
That's exactly where I dropped her off.
Did you just think that one day she's just going to show up at your house?
No, I sat around yesterday trying to figure out what to do. I'm glad that I ended up seeing my mom, that all of that stuff happened. It happened for a reason because
you're glad you saw your mom. You could have saw your mom 5 weeks ago and said, Mom, I don't know where.
I saw my mom's reaction right off the bat, and it would have been the same from the get-go.
So wait a minute, you're more afraid of your mom's reaction than you are if you ever see your daughter again?
No, I'm absolutely petrified. Absolutely petrified.
I'm so petrified right now. Just thinking about it, it's blowing my mind.
I know my mom will never forgive me. I'm never going to forgive myself.
Is it that there's some other thing more important in your life right now that you just weren't really focused on what you were saying?
Yes, I was smoking weed with my boyfriend.
And you told us so, yeah, kind of just accidentally told us you had an office here and we needed to be here, or did you purposely mislead us? Which of those two is it?
I purposely misled.
Okay, so you purposely misled us. This was all an attempt to help find your daughter, right? That makes sense to you, correct?
In a backwards sort of way, yes.
In a backwards sort of way?
I'm coming back to places that are familiar to me, that I know are familiar to her. Familiar situations that maybe just maybe would help. She's almost 3.
She's almost 3. What, do you think she's going to take a cab here? I mean,
I know
how do you think she's going to get here?
Because she's with someone else.
She's with someone else who's hid her from you for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Why would a person who has hid your daughter from you for 5 weeks, okay, bring her to the building that you used to work at?
I don't know what else to do anymore. If I knew where she was, if something would have happened, I would have admitted that a long time ago.
Do you believe thinking up more lies to tell us will help us?
No. She's with someone that I absolutely do not trust, and that I'm absolutely scared that
you don't trust yet was babysitting your daughter for a year.
I don't trust her now because of what happened.
Who did you call first? Who did you go to for help first to help try to find her?
No one.
Oh, no one. Okay. All right. Okay.
Come on, dude.
Well, I'm glad we got that straightened out.
Casey was then taken to the county jail, where she in the evening hours was able to make a phone call, and just happened to see her mother on the local news moments before speaking to her.
I feel like Florida cops fucked this one up too. They just boofed it. They just keep fucking missing, dude. They keep swinging and missing.
Casey? Mom. Hey, sweetie.